I've been thinking a lot recently about the difference between collective storytelling versus art by democracy. Because the other day I was kind of shitting real bad on the concept of art by democracy and the idea that storytellers keep consistently, with the advent of social media, having to pander to these huge fandoms and thus altering the way that the narrative that they wanted to explore goes in accordance to the whims of the largest portion of their audience, right? I especially saw that a lot in like tabletop RPG contexts where, like in Critical Role, there is always a pivot towards exploring the kind of stories that the fandom ends up wanting to see. This is something that just overwhelmingly again and again comes up in modern day storytelling. Uh, but I always praise collective storytelling, right? I always praise the idea that a bunch of people can come together and each one independently having their own contribution, their own little sphere within which they are completely sovereign, introduces a bit by bit. The recent advent of the Europa War stuff on Twitter.com um, has kind of proven to me just the beauty of collective storytelling and how a bunch of people can come together, create, and weave this beautiful narrative. But crucially speaking, no one person out of this group, right, answered to anybody. Nobody was held accountable for the actions of others, or nobody could be piled upon for altering something in the grander narrative. It's kind of the same way in tabletop RPGs, where you have the dungeon master who is in charge of the story, but they can never ever, even though they're responsible to each and every member of the party, they can never be outvoted on anything. There is never a situation where a small group of people who, like, the majority of the party will ever alter the story by being like, no, we don't want this to happen. And so the DM will go, oh, okay, never mind. It doesn't happen, actually. Something else does. Because there is an element of mutual trust in collective storytelling. In storytelling by democracy, there isn't an element of trust because we do not trust the showrunners to be able to make their own artistic decisions.